Picture over here.
Man, we don't need Drew. We don't need Drew in this picture.
All about Kirsty and Victor.
That's it. We're gonna have our own episode today. Fuck out of here, Drew.
Special edition. Kirsty. Oh,
Yeah.
oh
Hey,
there
fuck
he
it's
is.
back. Damn it. Bah. I am your host, Victor Santana. To the left of me, I got Drew and Kirsty, and then the man behind the veil, Jedi. What's going on, man?
What's up?
You know,
What's up?
we all needed these drinks. It's been a rough week for everybody.
Oh,
so
yeah.
All right.
Big time.
It's been one of those
it's
weeks.
one of those fucking weeks that everybody's having problems, and we need a beer. So, salud. So everybody's having problems out there. Let's grab a beer.
You have a beer.
Drink one. Why my hat's all messed up? Shout out to the Yankees. You know, winning. You know, coming back, tying up the
Yeah.
series.
This is Dallas Beer Talk,
What
not.
about them Rangers, though?
Not in the playoffs.
That's right.
Irrelevant.
That's right. My
That's-
heart is still with them.
They're sitting at home drinking beers, watching this show.
That's right.
You know,
Is the Astros still in it?
they're playing the
They're
Yankees.
playing the Yankees.
Oh.
So
You know?
they got beat last night, 5-0. by the
I think
Yankees.
Houston deserves it. Come on.
Man, so I know it's getting to a little sports talk here, but Houston had a really good season. They beat up the Rangers for the first time in a long time.
Destroyed them.
Yeah, and then everybody did, unfortunately. But they've been their bats have been silent during this postseason. So it's been
Well, I mean, they can put some runs up, you know, but the Yankees have come back and put some runs up against them and holding out the lead, you know.
Yeah, but did the Yankees have to deal with a hurricane? I mean, come on.
it's true.
Hurricane, what's his name? Andrew Judd? No, whatever.
Aaron Judge.
Andrew. I looked at you and I said Andrew. I mean, you
His
guys
brother.
look the same. You
Oh,
know,
his brother.
What, 6'8"?
I hit more homers though.
I know you don't strike out as much. No, so I have a long history of talking shit about our home run king right now, the rookie.
Yeah.
Just on that fact of because he strikes out a lot. It bothers me. It bothers me that he strikes out so much.
He's
He really
either a hit
does.
or miss type of guy.
Yeah,
He either
he's
hits
either knocking out
homers
yeah.
or he strikes out. And he
That's it.
strikes out a lot.
Do you think it's skill or just luck?
He's
Like,
he's
50-50
6'8".
luck.
He's 6'8". He's massive.
It's roids. That's the answer.
Oh, well.
No.
If he's 6'8", yeah, I would agree.
He's a big dude. Like
He's
looks,
batting with his dick. just holding his dick. He's batting.
So
I can see why he strikes out.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been a big advocate of having steroids in sports.
Yeah, that's a good,
I think it should be allowed.
that's a very good topic. We've brought this up before, kind of in the past, just off air. But
Do y'all remember how? See, I'm not even a sports fan, but do y'all remember the whole Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire
Yeah.
home run
Home run
challenge
race, yeah.
race that they were doing? You got steroids to thank for that, right? I mean, if they weren't on steroids, that wouldn't have been happening. Think about how exciting that was.
How much money
Exactly.
baseball made.
Think about how exciting football would be if they were all roided up and just demolishing each other.
well, okay, so do you
I'm
think?
fine with that.
Do you think the Mark McGuire Sammy Sosa race was so intriguing because of the fact you didn't know they were on roids and you thought like, man, they're doing superhuman stuff? Or if you would have been roids, like, okay, cool, yeah, it's a roids, but they're hitting a lot of homers.
I mean, I don't know. I was like 12, so
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think I really thought too much into it.
I
But I,
was
just
into
remember how exciting that was. you
Yeah.
know?
I was into it. Because I'm Dominican, so we were all, of course, we were all into it. We had the
For Mark McGuire, yeah.
Mark McGuire. He's Dominican all the way. Kind of Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire kind of looks the same now. So I don't know. Have you seen a picture of Sammy Sosa lately?
Yeah, he's
Jenna?
like Michael Jackson white now,
Yeah.
right? He's
Yeah.
like bleached white.
Yeah, bring that up for the people who don't know.
Yep.
He was the darkest Dominican of all time.
Yeah, and then he
No, he's
could
the
So
whitest.
obviously he got that skin, not really disease. but-
Vitiligo or some shit like that.
Yeah, that
that
took
what it
over
is?
his whole
at
body
him, look at
at
him.
once.
they do some.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I
He's
saw,
a vampire. That's what I just want to tell you.
A
How
lot
old is he now, anyways?
1,000 looks like.
Yo,
Oh,
a
no.
lot of people do skin bleaching. That's like one of the things that's been like really popular for fashion in like Jamaica. So it could be that. It could be that.
Definitely some
bleaching.
bleaching going
That's
on.
what I would.
Very bad for your skin.
That's what I would put my vote on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But back to the home run topic. Yeah, I mean, I'm all fine with baseball, soccer, like basketball for recovery because if your players taking steroids, they recover faster. You know, they can perform better, stronger. You know, but it doesn't help them with the actual sport. You know, in my opinion, the recovery, yeah, and helping you recover from injuries and prevent injuries and strength and conditioning, maybe. But as far as like hitting a ball, it doesn't really help you, or shooting a basketball doesn't really help you.
Talking about skill or the strength behind the
The
skill?
skill set that you still need to be top notch, but the recovery helps. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it can improve your skills, but you definitely have to have the skills there in the first place.
Yeah, the hand-eye
What do you mean
coordination
by
for
like
baseball.
I mean, when it comes to improving skills, like as you get tired, like say basketball's a perfect example because it's mostly endurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a skill set of shooting a ball into a rim, right? But as time goes on, the game goes on, you get more exhausted, your legs get weaker, and your percentage might drop because you're tired. Now with steroids, your endurance might increase and help you prolong your game and help your percentage shooting, but you're already still a great shooter. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of questions behind it. I mean, I'm of the mindset, and I think me and Andrew talked about this multiple times. If you're a grown adult and you want to damage your body, there's no reason for people to stop you. Like if you want to destroy your body for temporary gain and glory, go right ahead.
Yeah, because think
I'm
of it
not
like
gonna
this.
stop you.
Think of it like this: sports at the core is a product, and the product is to entertain the viewers. Right? As sports fans, we consume sports. It entertains us, and so by that fact, you know, the more amazing plays, the more we're entertained, and the more the interest grows. Right? So if you're doing steroids. And if you level the playing field and say everybody can do steroids, if you want to, yeah, it's your choice. You're going to it willingly, and you know the consequences, what have you. So, but if you let everybody do steroids, you could have more entertaining sport.
Eventually, everyone would be kind of not really forced into because you're not technically making them take steroids.
But if you don't,
the
you're gonna be
best
fall behind.
players, yeah, are gonna be on steroids because I mean that's just a given. You're gonna be better on steroids.
I mean, there's a lot of advantages to it. I just feel like you still have to need the skill sets to play whatever sport it would be. You know?
Yeah, it depends on
Yeah.
the sport, right? Because golf, you take a steroid, you're like, yo, that's a jacked 5-iron. He's just throwing at the ball right there.
I definitely disagree with having steroids in combat sports like fighting, boxing.
But see, that's what I think it's the best to have it for, because like football or like MMA and stuff, because you know, that's what's gonna be the most direct contact
but-
sports and what have you. Because
Come on, man! They
basketball-
used to have gladiators like killing each other. We can get some steroided fighters out there.
He's gonna have
all
some
padded up. They got pads.
I'm
They're
just,
fine.
They got pads.
I'm just thinking about myself running into like a steroided out MMA guy, and I just say the wrong thing and get my head knocked off. It's like, what happened to Vic? He's not on the show no more. Well, sadly, he ran into the heavyweight of all time.
Dude, don't go to Uptown because you'll run into those like every Friday night.
That's true.
I know. I don't live too far.
That's true.
That's why I don't get into fights anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, baseball to a certain extent because you're hitting a ball and maybe like the power behind it. But yeah, you have to have the core hand-eye coordination and skill.
set. Uh-huh.
But basketball, I don't really see how it's going to really help out
Endurance.
that much.
It's everything's endurance.
Yeah.
I can see that, but I'm saying in the general sense of when people think of like roids, and it depends obviously on the type of steroids, but
But that's what I'm saying. That's one of my leads into one of my big points of it. Like, if you allow it to happen, you can have your doctors monitor it and see what's going on with you. Like, instead of trying to hide it from your team doctor, and there's no way to really monitor it, you can give yourself too much, so that has a negative effects to it. You know, allow a trained physician to monitor you, check your blood work, make sure everything's going well.
keep it somewhat healthier than just
Yeah.
doing it on your own.
Then giving yourself 1,000% more than what you need and fuck up your whole body. 'Cause-
Hey, Rod.
What about in like 20, 30 years, they got body modifications where you can jump like 30 feet, you know? That'd be kind of cool, too.
Like cyborg style?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
And I know like a lot of people are like, oh, that's not fair. But it's kind of like if you think of a video game when you do like role playing games where you have people with different skill sets. So you could have one guy. So it'd be a matter of your manager would really, you know, have a job on his hands because he would have to pick, all right, so we need a guy that can jump 30 feet. We need a guy who's super fast, super strong. You know what I mean? So it could.
I kind
I
of
can
like that.
see that. Depends on the sport, but I can see that.
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah.
sport that had basketball players that was on trampoline?
Yeah.
You remember what was that called?
Oh man, I Epic
know, but it was fun
Dunkarama.
to
I forget what it was
watch.
called. but
Dunkarama.
it was, yeah.
What about the XFL? Y'all remember that?
Yeah,
Phil?
arena football. Arena football was awesome.
Dude,
like
they had such
more
big
It
touchdowns.
hype.
was messed
Yeah.
up.
Vince McMahon. Shout out to Vince McMahon.
he tried to make money. He actually, he
It was a
tried.
big epic bust, but it was interesting when it first came out.
He
the way
tried.
they didn't do kickoffs. They did like you threw the ball.
Yeah, something weird like
Yeah.
that. There was no out of bounds. And
Like you had that little foam thing.
You could like the running back could like start his run before the snap even went or something like that.
some
It was
weird-
a
a lot
bunch
of
of
it
weird
was-
little-
they were weird.
yeah.
I
No
just
defense.
Remember thinking it was like football to the extreme.
XFL.
Yeah.
So they had a when I lived in Memphis, when that first came out, they had a Memphis team, and like opening day, me and my buddies went. It was so empty. It was like there was
Really?
no one there.
Was it cheap?
I think that's probably it was like $10-15 for a ticket. That's probably why it didn't
Yeah.
do
Take
anything
off.
because no one
'Cause
supported it.
I think at the end of it all, the reason the NFL holds so much command, tradition, yeah, but at that level, you have like the highest athletes, the pinnacle of their like position. They're the best players in the world, essentially. So when you watch the NFL, you're watching like the best football players in the world, essentially. So if you watch XFL, you're like, okay, it's like watching the CFL, the Canadian Football League. Like
But
they
they
may
try.
be good against each other, but you're like, yo, those scrubs couldn't match up against this team in the NFL.
You don't know that, man. You don't know.
Except-
Give them time.
I mean,
Give
that
'em
was
time.
just like people beating up on each other. I didn't
Yeah.
even really feel like it was football. Just like I want to see some people beat each other up.
Those
over
cheerleaders.
football. Did they have cheerleaders?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah?
Did they?
I don't know. I was
Of
a
course,
youngin'.
Andrew, remember that.
I
That's
think they did. I think so.
Hey, speaking of fail sports, did y'all see the other day they finally did the Japan versus America, the robots, the battle
Oh,
duel.
Really?
No.
on
Who
that
won?
note, keep talking about that. We totally forgot our beers.
The Americans won, but it was so fail. Like it was,
Really?
yeah, it was all hyped up, and it was just imagine like people in a souped up forklift just kind of ramming each other.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It wasn't
Do you remember those old school like shows on like BattleBots?
BattleBots. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, Spike.
Yeah, and Spike.
Yeah, they brought that back for a little bit.
Yeah, is it on
And they-
Netflix or?
That's where I watched it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think it was on TV.
Yeah.
BattleBots is actually way more exciting than
Yeah.
that one was.
I had a discussion with somebody somewhere, and I forget who it was, but imagine doing like BattleBot stuff, but with drones.
Yeah,
Having like a
that'd
drone.
be cool.
Ooh,
They actually had
that'd be
one of the
quick.
robots had a drone.
Really?
Yeah, the drone launched, and the other robot had this big arm, just whacked it right out of the sky. That was actually kind of cool.
That
And then
Dirty.
another part, there were all these. So they were in like this arena in this big giant warehouse, and they had cars stacked up and obstacles, and one of them just like rips this metal thing down and uses it for a bat and just starts beating the shit out of this other robot.
Oh, damn.
It was. There were a couple of kind of cool parts, but for the most part, it was very anticlimactic.
That sucks.
Hmm.
Remember they had a show on like the Discovery Channel that had like robots versus robots?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what we're talking about, the BattleBots.
Yeah, but
God, were you not here for that
No,
discussion?
but he's
Yeah,
talking about the
what?
Japan part. But like, what happened to that? Like, why didn't that last long?
They kind of brought it back for a little bit though.
Did they?
Yeah. And then when they brought it back, there was basically just one robot that destroyed them all. And it wasn't an American robot, I don't believe. I think it was overseas because they got like every country in on
Yeah.
this one.
I remember like seeing like the evolution. So when I watched it,
They were
They
like
had
baby bots.
the ones that could flip them, and if you could
Yeah.
flip them and they weren't able to right themselves, then like you pretty much won. And some hammers, and then there was this one dude that had like they were all angled and sloped, so they couldn't get flipped so much. And then had like a little like grinder on the front, and he would just tear up like the
and
stuff.
then the flames.
Yeah, the
We
flame.
always said the flames don't do anything.
I know, but it looks
except you
badass.
Look cool, yeah.
So they got a new one now. It's kind of like BattleBots,
Uh-huh.
but the robots are a lot smaller, a lot faster, and it's like in this. It's kind of like sumo wrestling where you have like the round ring,
Yeah.
and you win by knocking the opponent out. Have y'all seen this?
No.
It's actually really cool. It's so fast. Check this
Interesting.
out. It's wild.
It is like a sumo ring. Like, look at that.
Whoa!
Isn't that
the
crazy?
Oh. They're so quick. They look like little squirrels trying to.
Yeah.
He knocked himself out.
Yeah. Some of them do that.
And this isn't sped up. This is like as fast
No,
as they
that's
go.
as fast as they are.
That was a good one.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I like it. And at the same time, I like seeing in BattleBots the other robot getting destroyed. Like
Yeah.
all the robots that people spend 6 months to a year working on, it's just like shattered in
In
front of
30
their
seconds.
eyes.
And they
Yeah.
cried. And people cried.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have cried.
Is BattleBots the one that where they had like the house robots that had like their each individual ones that would come out and like kind of regulate after a while? Oh, there was a couple different like
Robot things.
robot shows, but there
I
was
never
one.
got into it as a kid.
There was one where they had like these different robots that were like the actual of the arena, and they would come out and they were like pretty badass robots, and they would come and if it got too slow or something, they would come out and like attack the other ones,
That's
or
pretty awesome.
they would lift them up and toss them into like a pit and
See,
short them out.
I
and
always
stuff.
thought it was
pretty
like
interesting.
professionals versus like amateurs. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that's what it was, but I could be making that shit up. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. That was back when Tech TV was Tech TV and not G4.
G4, and then it went under.
Whoa. What's wrong with
Yeah.
G4?
You know,
It worked for many, many years.
it's
I
kind of
enjoyed
like how sci-fi went from sci-fi to SYFY, and you're just like, why? You're just
Because sci-fi.
dumbing it down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot. Well, Discovery Channel's not Discovery Channel anymore that we remember years ago.
History
History Channel's not
Channel.
History Channel. It's freaking like Pawn
Can't learn
Shop.
nothing.
Yeah,
History
what
Channel.
history?
History, yeah.
No, what history?
Discovery Channel went for all these like fake. Okay, so I have this beef with like shows that you know are fake at the core of it. But so my brother, he watches like
Teen
like
Mom.
no like Duck Dynasty and stuff, and they go through these like very like choreographed scenarios, and you know it's fake at the core of it all. And like what was that one like South Beach Toe or whatever, the one where that South Beach Repo.
Oh, the repo with that black girl.
And they have like the fake scenarios, and you know it's not real. But then like, well, he's like, well, but it's entertaining. But I'm like, but I know it's fake, and then because I know it's fake, it doesn't resonate with
Definitely
me.
not.
But Discovery has a bunch of those. Like they had a lot of like Gold Rush shows and stuff. But they had this one where it's called like Jungle Gold or something like that, and these two guys going out like, all right, we're going to sketchy situation and da da da. But I'm like, dude, this is fake, and it's not entertaining because it's fake.
Is
So,
Discovery did?
how do you guys feel about that?
I hate fake shit. Like that's why I don't like reality TV shows. Like if I want fake stuff, I want real good actors and like a show. Like
Yeah, an actual show.
But
Not
don't
the
call it-
fake reality.
Yeah, but don't call it reality because it's not reality. You know?
Exactly. But there was one that I really was mad about. It's where they go to like these public storages. And they buy it. They put bids on
I
it.
like that show.
Storage Wars?
Storage
Yeah.
Wars. That's what it was.
Yeah, but a lot of that's fake too, man.
Yeah.
a lot of it's not real.
But I
Well,
like that one.
It might not necessarily be fake. It's just heavily produced. So, like, it could, like, for instance, I've worked on a couple reality shows.
Okay.
I like-
My First Sale. They would have a real couple trying to sell their first house, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was real. Like, that was a real couple, and that was really their house. But you had a producer basically telling them what to say. You know, if it was boring, if there was nothing interesting, they would kind of make stuff up like, oh, we got to act like there's a rat chewing, you know?
like, whoa, and that's not in the budget.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that it's just all heavily produced. And then some of it is just outright, you know, cheaters.
I
Fake.
I like the real stuff like Cheaters,
That's
Survivor, all those.
You know what's also irritated me? What the last like reality show I got into was this like this British guy will go into like the most wilderness thing and survive.
Oh,
Bear Grylls?
yeah.
Is that what it is?
with Bear Grylls?
Well, there's
yeah.
a few of them. I don't think Bear Grylls isn't the one he's talking about.
Bear
So you're
Grylls
talking
is
about-
fake. Bear Grylls is
Yeah,
because
because they have
But is he
like
British?
Bear Grylls will have like he'll go to an RV when he's done
Yeah.
filming and stuff. But no, you're the guy you're talking about, Survivor Man,
Yeah.
Jeremy
Oh.
Clark or something like
No,
that.
Les Stroud.
Yeah,
I thought
he is legit.
Yeah, he's
like
legit.
what
Okay,
he does.
okay.
I mean, he even
Wait, is it combination? Wait, it's got it's a combination. Like he's really a survivalist and he knows what he's talking about. He's real. He knows all that stuff.
right.
But he's still with a team of producers.
No, he's not. That's the
No.
thing. Like he goes out with multiple cameras.
Okay.
Like they've shown him. So in order for him to get a good scene,
Mm-hmm.
he'll have to go and replace his camera, go hike a mile, put a camera up, do a scene, go hike, go get that camera. Like it's a whole.
Yeah.
Maybe the first season.
I think you're thinking about Bear Grylls.
Yeah,
You're talking
you-
about Les Stroud because he's
Okay.
in a British guy.
Oh, okay.
The guy's
The British guy, and he has some fake stuff where he's like, "Oh, this is a very dangerous area, and I gotta gingerly walk over this." And then there's a guy that goes to that same spot, a completely different guy, and he like records. He's like, look, and he like pans over, and it's like the highway is like right there. It's like some like some remote wilderness stuff, and Bear Grylls is fake. But Les Stroud, Survivor Man, that dude is he's legit.
That's the show you need to watch.
No,
He's
fuck
legit.
that guy.
No, he's cool. I like.
He ain't shit.
I kick it with
What
Les
about
Stroud.
that Naked and Alone? Y'all ever watch that one? That one.
Nah, I
was
never
fun.
heard of that. What the fuck is that?
I think it's
It's
fairly real,
a-
but I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is real. I mean, of all the ones that can be considered
Wait,
real.
so you got to put people naked
So
in the street
you-
somewhere?
So
you
yeah,
serious?
two people.
That's fucking-
Not in the
Just
street.
sit
Not
on
in the
a-
street.
Oh my
They'll
god.
the
they'll
wilderness.
make them go on like an exotic island somewhere, and they're naked, and they have to build their own. They'll get to bring two.
And it's usually
Tools.
a guy and girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they literally get to the spot where they're gonna be at before they drop them off, and they have to strip down, and then they get like a little satchel, like just a little like wicker kind of. No, it's like a
But
little
there's a
hip
team
bag.
recording
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah, but they're not allowed to help
I don't
them
believe
unless it's
it.
like a
Oh.
medical emergency.
Like someone almost
Okay.
died
So they
there
say.
once, I thought.
There's
Like,
been a
she
few of
got
them almost
infected
died.
And she didn't get medical help, and the camera people didn't do anything.
Yeah, and the way it starts out, they rate each of them like on their survival skills and what they're good at. I know there was this one girl that went with this like big like alpha kind of guy, and he's like, I got all the survival skills, and they get out and they're like on an island or something, and he gets like sunburnt to the bone, and he just sits in the shade. It's like and eventually you can give out, but your partner can stay and try to finish it out. And
Yeah.
so he gave up eventually, and she kept through it and ended up lasting. I think
With all
for
the
whole
money?
time.
there was this one where they had made a fire, and the chick was like sleeping by the fire, and they were boiling water. And the water like dumped over and splashed all on her back, and like they had to like flight her out of there. I mean, it's pretty legit.
You see all the bug bites they get and stuff because they're
Oh,
naked.
yeah.
Unless you
Completely naked.
they'll weave like little
What's the point of the
clothes
show?
and stuff. Just
To
entertainment.
watch people
Every once in a while, you'll see
torture
What's
themselves.
the point?
someone with a
They
nice
get
ass.
paid? They getting paid? They getting paid if they make it through?
I only
I
watched
don't know.
like 2 episodes.
Actually,
like,
I
are
don't
they
think-
really naked. Yep. Okay.
No, they're naked.
Yeah, I don't
blur
think
it
they
all
get
out.
anything. The only thing they get is they get a higher rated survival score at the
Their
end.
PSR.
Yeah.
They get respect.
No, there has to be money involved. Like I'm not like nobody's going out there just to get fucking butt ass naked and surviving without like a chance for money, right?
True.
Like,
Hence
there has to be
Survivor.
something. There has to be getting something. I've
Yeah.
never heard this show before.
Well, let's discuss this over a beer, guys. What do you
Yes.
think? Maybe
I
one
don't
of
know.
these 3 beers of the week we have here.
Are we a beer show?
We are.
I kind of want to. Where do you guys want to start?
Oh man, I kind of okay. I brought the Rogue stout that we have here, which is a hot stout.
We have
I
two
was kind of
stouts.
leaning towards the red too.
Okay,
I like
let's go with
Keep it
that.
interesting.
So we didn't
So
queue
let's
up a lot
go-
of our
no,
beers,
we,
but
we started talking and got distracted. We did not queue up anything. So this is the Rogue Sriracha hot sauce stout.
yep, that hot stout from Rogue, and it looks straight up like a big sriracha bottle. What does it smell like?
Sounds like a stout to me.
Smells
Yeah.
like a stout.
It
Then
doesn't smell spicy.
Now we're about to find out though. This bad boy was $15.
yeah,
Oh, shoot.
Victor dropped big money.
Nah, not me. I'm broke. I'm poor.
But yeah, I when I went to go pick this up, the guy at the store was like, I was like, hey, have you tried this one? He's like, yeah. He's like, this one I tried it last year, and he's like, this one's good. Kirsty, you want a bigger pour? Is that what the
Yeah, she wants all the pour. He wants all the pour. Can you get Jedi's
Yeah.
glass, please?
All right. So what inspired this beer for the week?
well,
Someone left sriracha on here.
so Amy's been wanting like a good pumpkin beer, and so I went to go.
See, look, that looks delicious right there.
Yeah, I went to go to a place over there, kind of where I live, to pick some up, and I was looking for something to buy for the show as well. And so I got my pumpkin beer, but I also like was looking around the bombers, and I was like, "Yo, that looks really good, pretty interesting."
Have you smelled it yet?
No, I haven't smelled it yet.
Smell it. See, I can smell some of the
That's gonna
spice
say
in
now
it.
that I've poured it out, I can smell some of the sriracha in it.
Mm-hmm.
It has like it smells like a stout, but it's got like a light and like a
Sriracha.
aroma of like sort of a sriracha kind of.
Like I took a stout and I poured some sriracha in there.
Yeah.
I don't taste the sriracha at all.
Let's give it a shot and
That's it.
see.
It's good.
You get a very light note of it, very light of sriracha. It tastes like a good stout,
Yeah,
like
like
a chocolate stout, but it's like You get like aftertaste of siracha.
There's like a
a
little,
backhand.
it's like a little
hit with
burn
it.
sort of at the end. Not burn, but like a little spiciness at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
not as spicy as the jalapeno ones that we've had on.
Yeah. So I was telling the guy about the Indra Canindra that we had from Ballast Point, and that one had a lot of
real kick.
real. Yeah, you
That
felt
had-
the burn.
That had a kick, and also that in Fuego or whatever from Clown
Yeah.
Show was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. This one, I think it's pretty tame for what I was thinking it was going to be, and it.
Kind of disappointed. Not saying it's bad by any means. It tastes
No.
good. If you like stouts, this is a good. It's a good stout.
It's good. It's a good stout. I think it tastes just like a typical stout, but at the end you get a little bit of a spiciness, but it
Okay.
kind of peters out kind of quick.
I think it's a pretty bland stout. I'm
Do you
not
want some more?
necessarily a fan of this. No, that's it.
You good? You good? You love stouts.
Uh,
It's
For
our
our
favorite,
viewers.
by the way.
But
Yeah.
there's just not much flavor to it except that back can of sriracha sauce, and so I'm not a fan of this one.
Should we power check it down and get to our next beer?
I think so.
I don't want to power check. I want to
Hey,
talk about shit.
Just real quick before we move on, what is y'all's favorite thing to put sriracha on?
Wings.
Man, everything.
Wings?
There was this phase in my life where I went through and I would put sriracha on everything. I could straight go up and just pour some sriracha and just eat it.
Ugh.
No, you're
Solo
a disgusting
dolo.
man.
Ugh.
No, I mean, hey, I love me some sriracha, but
Does that mean
eggs.
you guys-
If I'm putting it on like, so for the people that know about that Vietnamese banh mi, some of those little sandwiches, very good with some sriracha,
Or ramen?
some
Put it on
ramen, some pho,
some ceviche.
some ceviche. Yeah,
Do you have those Lay's chips that were flavored siracha
I never
Listen,
tried them.
several years ago?
I'm not a big fan of like condiments.
Condiments.
Yeah, I don't believe in it. If I ever had to add sriracha or hot sauce to food or ketchup or anything like that, I mean the food was disgusting. And I have to drown it out.
So whenever you go into a video game and you create a character, you should go with the whatever they give you.
Blandest. Yeah.
You just leave it how it is.
No, but see, I'm cooking the character. I'm making my dishes, put it together. I'm not adding afterwards and putting some fucking extra shit afterwards.
But some people appreciate the finer areas of adding this to that, or they like to
I'm just
emphasize
saying.
this.
If you make me a sandwich, if Jedi makes me a sandwich, and I look at the sandwich and you're like, you know what the sandwich needs? Sriracha. You know what that tells Jedi? Sandwich ain't shit. That's what it
Or
says.
you're saying have the sriracha on there before it gets to you.
I mean, no, that means the sandwich ain't shit. You knew it ain't shit. You still gave it to me.
But some
That's
people,
what I'm saying.
some people like mustard. Some people like mayo. I mean, this
Some
is
people like
variability.
really
I'm
spicy salsa, like me,
I'm not
like
trying-
putting on
Yeah.
everything.
Well, when you want to try a dish for the first time, right, and you want to get the flavors of what they cooked for, when you add mustard or anything to it, it cuts out what they cooked in it.
Not
You know?
necessarily. It depends
Sometimes
on
it
depends
adds
on
to
what
the
you're
flavor.
adding to it. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
What you adding to what makes it?
When I have a
ketchup and
street
sriracha.
taco and I put my sauce on it.
That's
Then maybe you
right.
just want salsa
That's
then.
right. No, but
No?
no, because maybe depends on what you're cooking. Something doesn't even have salsa in the beginning, so you're
Yeah,
adding
just want-
salsa.
Yeah, like
to
some
it.
dirty rice, and then you throw some Louisiana hot sauce on after you cook it. That's the way to go.
Rice was a piece of shit then.
So-
Rice was
Nah.
garbage.
Nah.
It's a good example. I don't know how it was for you guys, but in like middle school, high school, we had those days where we'd have those pizza days for lunch. And in my school, we had the little pizzas, but they would those little square pizzas, and they would have a little bottle of Louisiana hot sauce there, and I would just be like, blub, 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 blub. And that was the greatest.
See, I don't judge you on that.
Meal
I'm
of
glad
the
it
week.
wasn't ranch that you put your pizza in.
I'm open to ranch.
Yeah.
I'm open to ranch
See,
on
things
pizza.
like ranch, mustard, sriracha, you only use that because the food is disgusting.
It's not disgusting.
If you use it
elevates.
with your, if
Oh,
you
what
use it
about,
with
like,
your food, that means you don't like the food.
French fries and ketchup.
Nope,
Yeah.
don't use ketchup.
Oh my god, you're such a hardliner.
I mean, I will agree. It depends. If the French fries are seasoned
Mm-hmm.
a certain way, I'll eat the French fries. But I do love me some French fries and ketchup. The balance of the flavors, I just
I
like
don't
it.
know. Like
Yeah.
whenever I go to fast food, like you want any condiments? No, I don't want any condiments. Sorry.
So you go to Chick-fil-A and you don't get any of their beautiful condiments that they have.
I have to be in the mood for like Polynesian sauce or in the mood for like Chick-fil-A sauce. But
Yeah.
typically I don't get no ketchup. I get nothing.
They got a spicy sriiracha sauce. It's dope with their
Yeah.
fries. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. But
Chick-fil-A sauce is probably the
I
best
think-
thing they have there. But
for me, condiments, there's a lot of cultures where it's very important. They have all their different options of condiments put on. Excuse me. But I think you take something good and you elevate it to your own personal taste to what you like. And so that's the difference of the condiments for me, personally.
just personally, I feel like it's opposite. I feel it's a slap in the face of the cook that you put condiments on there.
If
Depends.
if you made me a hot dog, Yeah, it would be a slap in the face if I put
First
ketchup
of all,
on it.
first of all, I'll never make you a hot dog. If I make you a hot dog, I don't care about you. Like, you know what? This is how I feel about you. Fucking take this boiled dog.
Here's a
A
water,
boiled dog,
dirty
yeah.
water dog, and yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, that you can eat cold if you wanted to. Like, then I didn't even care about you.
So okay, like my wife is Mexican. We talked about it on the show, and when we make like a full spread of like tacos or something, you have like your salsa that you make. Like I'll make the salsa from scratch, and she'll get like some, you know, like they do like the repollo, the cabbage, and they cut it up and they put like lemon and salt and stuff on it. And there's all sorts of stuff you can add to it to kind of make your taco your own. So
And you gotta make it to where the blenders or the flavors blend.
exactly. If you didn't get that, you'd be like, this shit's weak. Because the main stuff's good, but you elevate it.
I mean, that's on you. I mean, for me, I look at that like, let's be honest, I don't like Mexican food. So
That's so sad.
It's a sad life.
Real sad.
it is what it is.
Bland, sad life.
I don't live a bland life. When I cook with spice, I cook with spices. I'm telling, but I make my dishes that way.
Yeah.
Then I serve it to you.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't. There's some Mexican dishes I really do enjoy. Like, of course, everybody eats tacos. Who hasn't had a taco before, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't like all the extra. Like the vegetables in there is fine, but I don't want hot sauce. I don't want.
But you don't
Pico
like.
de
You're not a
gallo.
big spice fan though.
Not even that, but that's what a lot of people do with that. Like that's the condiments they put on it. Is the pico and the hot sauce or whatever mix they put together. Fine, do that, but I don't like it. I just like it for what it is. If you make your chicken with spice sauce or your steak with it that's already spicy, then I'll eat it that way.
I feel you.
I don't
feel you.
need the condiments. I don't enjoy having condiments on my food. If that's a staple of how you eat your food, then I don't want it.
Yeah.
So no Louisiana hot sauce on your fried chicken.
Nope. Like
crazy.
if you're making wings with it and you're tossing it, fine. I'll eat it that way.
Do you ever eat pho?
I do.
So
I don't like it.
Did you add any hoisin and sriracha sauce to it?
Okay, then not hearing a statement. If I have to add anything to it, I
But
don't like
that's
it.
my point.
I mean, it's like
That's the
soup.
point. The point is
It's not that it wasn't good.
And,
Like,
and this is per the traditional way that the Viets eat it. You put some some sriracha and some hoisin. Not too much hoisin. It's a little sweet, but yeah, it makes it elevates
does
it,
it,
man.
does it taste good? Does tacos with hot sauce on it taste good?
Yes.
Of course it does taste good.
Yes.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
So why
but-
don't you? Why are you denying yourself this
I don't know.
great
I've tried it.
pleasure?
I've tried it. I'm not saying I haven't.
Yeah.
I just look at it. My thing of cooking is I feel like if I have to do that to the food, then the food was no good to begin with.
What about elotes? You
Don't
telling me
like
you're
it.
not gonna what?
I'm not Mexican.
He's not Mexican.
I'm not either, but I love elotes.
I'm not Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. I don't like that shit. I don't want the corn and butter and hot
it's
sauce
so
on that shit.
fantastic.
Some mayo, some Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not saying that I haven't. Like I've had it. I've tried all these things. I'm not saying I haven't tried it and that they're not good. I'm not saying that they're all good and there are good examples. Like perfect examples. Pho. You have to eat that combination to truly enjoy it.
You don't have to, but I enjoy it that way, and I think
You
it's
have
the
to
traditional
because
way.
it's bland. It's very bland.
Not if you did a good spot. They get some good stock. but
Man, that's true. That's also true. Depending who cooks it.
I just think that highlights the beauty of America. You know, we can all have our condiments and eat them too, or not eat them
Each
too.
their
So.
own. Whatever
no
you
condiments.
want.
No
Yeah.
condiments. This is a no condiment household.
So what beer we're gonna move to next after we drink these beers down?
I mean, might as well keep it stout. You know, there's an oatmeal stout right here. Let's see. Column Shooter has not failed us yet.
Yeah, I think let's break it up. Let's do the
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin first.
Kind of break the stats apart.
All right.
Hold on. Let me get some water.
Oh, so we have this discussion. Lately we've been drinking a lot of like multiple beers in between.
You'll do
And-
that, but you can't drink salsa.
Well, he's trying to clear the palate. Like,
I can
cleanse the
drink
palate.
salsa. I can do it. I don't want it. No, I'm not saying I don't enjoy salsa or I don't like condiments. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. But me, how I'm being picky about food.
He's a hardliner. He's saying that like come with it because it should already be there.
Yeah.
If it needs it, then it wasn't shit to begin with
If I
because
need
it
to
should
add to
already
it.
be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I get where he's coming from. I still think he's wrong, but I get where he's coming from.
Well, and I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't really like condiments, actually, but if it enhances the taste of my food, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. It's not like it
I'm not
needs a
denying it.
condiment, but
I feel like,
If it-
me personally, if I cook you food and you have to add condiments to it, I feel like you think my food ain't shit. So don't eat it.
Oh,
I'll
so
make
you
sure
so
never
if
do
you
that.
if you cook for me and I added something to it, you get mad.
Without trying it. Like, if you try it, you'd be like, you know what? It's
Okay, that's different. That's different. So my grandpa, growing up, we would sit there and have dinner, and he would no matter what it was, he would go out and reach for the salt, and he would just be salting things up like dirty. And I'm like, God, that's a lot of salt, Grandpa. You know, and to me, I never got it because I was like, it's pretty good how it is. You know, need a lot of salt, but I mean, you know, everybody has their different palates and stuff. But yeah, so I could see.
I mean, as you know, I didn't think like this when I was a kid because when I was a kid, I loved ketchup. I put ketchup on everything. I put ketchup on my rice, my eggs. You know, you go like that. But that's when I started cooking. I started thinking about like I really put thought process on what I cook and what I'm blending my spices with. Before I cook for anybody else, I probably cook the dish like maybe 10 times, trying different spices to make sure I really enjoy it.
You never cooked for me before, Victor.
Like, that's a damn lie.
Yeah,
I cooked for the lab
Never
before.
cooked for me.
He cooked.
I wasn't there.
He cooked coquito.
Yeah, and I wasn't there. It was like right after I left.
So
good too. Hold on, we gotta get Jedi back.
yeah, we need to cue this up, but we are moving on to our next beer of the week.
It is very pumpkin-y smell.
I know, just kind of
Straight
excited
up
about that.
pumpkin.
So this is the Wasatch Brewery Nitro Pumpkin Ale, brewed with pumpkin and spices.
Do we know if they're not from Texas?
No, they're
Salt Lake City.
Yeah, and
Utah.
so we're kind of keeping the spirit of having some sort of pumpkin ale on the shows during October and going through the whole getting up to Thanksgiving and stuff. But this is 4% alcohol by volume, so not too strong. But we'll see how it goes.
Very pumpkin-y.
It has good pumpkin smell, nice pumpkin spice.
This is a pumpkin beer. This is pumpkin. all the
Tastes
way.
like pumpkin and water.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is really, if y'all haven't tried this is not very carbonated.
No.
Mm-mm.
It's a real, that's a good way of putting it. It's
Yeah.
They have a latte version.
Yep.
If you don't like
Kind of the same thing, but
water-
they have a
I
latte
mean,
version.
if you don't like beer, but you like pumpkin, there you go.
No, this is Breckenridge. We're at,
We had
it's Wasatch. It's down, third one, right there.
third one. You got third one on Google.
But yeah,
It's very pumpkin-y, man. If you don't like pumpkin, do not drink this.
it's very pumpkin-y. And it tastes pretty good. The only thing, so it depends on the kind of beers you drink. You'll get those beers that don't have a lot of carbonation. Like there's, off the top of my head, I'm thinking of like Young's Double Chocolate Stout. It's chocolate stout, but it's not. It more has like a more of a kind of low key, kind of milkiness to it, not like super carbonated and bubbly.
Yeah.
So this
I
one
just
kind of.
never had a beer that was just like straight up liquid. This much.
It's been solid.
Well,
It's all solid.
Even if you're going
All
with
the
a
time.
milky texture, it's a little bit thicker. Where
Yeah.
this is just straight up.
Water.
This
Yeah,
has
it's-
very minimal. You could have like poured this like beer straight this way, and
Yeah.
it would have been.
Could you though? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it wouldn't have bubbled up.
I
Do
ain't
it.
Go ahead,
Do
try
it.
it. Do
I
it.
ain't chugging this.
No. Let me get. There's some.
See?
Yeah.
There's some carbonation.
But look at that. And
There's
it
no head.
look
There's
real
no
quick.
head.
clears out real quick. So
Yeah, she's right though. It is very watery tasting.
it does.
It's
It
watered
has.
down.
It has
Like I
a
just flavored my water.
With
with,
beer.
Pumpkin.
with a pumpkin. What's that? Mio? A pumpkin Mio?
Mio.
You know, I don't know, man. I don't know how I really feel about this. I mean, I'm not upset about it, but I'm not happy with it either.
Nah, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm just really confused on it. The pumpkin also, to me, it smells a lot more pumpkin-y than it actually tastes. You can definitely
Yeah.
taste the pumpkin, but
You
it's more
smell the
mellow.
nutmeg really, really heavy.
So I think for me personally, and this is just a personal preference, but every time I've tried a nitro, when they say nitro, they're adding nitrous gas to it essentially, and I've never been a fan, even if it's coming straight from the keg. I've never been a fan of nitro beers. Be it so, one of my favorite ones when we first started drinking was Breckenridge Vanilla Porter. And they oftentimes they'll do like a nitro version of that at bars, and it adds like this kind of like weird texture to it, but it kills like a lot of the carbonation. And so I don't really like nitro beers too much.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
what I was
is
just
kinda-
reading. That's why it's so watery is because of the
Okay.
Yeah,
See, I
so-
don't have much to compare it to because the only nitro beer I've had so far, I think, is Petty Cola's at their actual brewery.
The
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
nitro
enjoyed
stout
it.
they had, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It's because it has smaller bubbles. That's the difference.
So it did bubble and then fizz out. Yeah, maybe more.
Just
That makes
smaller.
sense.
If you're looking for like it's actually like it's a pretty nice.
I wonder
light
what it
drink.
tastes like without it, without the nitro in it. That makes
That's a
me.
good
Yeah.
question. That's a good question. I steer away. Me personally, I steer away from like when I see nitro on like the menu. I'm like, I've tried like enough of them to know that I'm not a big fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think if you're looking for a beer that's like really easy to drink, as far as like if you're looking for pumpkin flavor and really easy to drink, it's pretty like
And not that heavy on your
Yeah,
stomach.
it's
like a
not that
It
beer.
heavy
feels
at all.
super light. It
Yeah.
feels super light drinking it. And it also feels tremendously lighter coming from the stout. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like water at
Yeah.
this point.
Like you
drinking
didn't
it.
even need to drink that water you just had.
No, I
this
feel like
would have sufficed.
This is water right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's not. It doesn't taste bad by any means.
no, it doesn't.
No.
I think you're just missing that mouthfeel from the carbonation. You kind of
Is that what
normally
I'm missing?
Yeah,
Mm.
you normally
You
get
don't
that.
like that full mouth.
You like
Want
your
that
mouth?
full mouth.
No.
Pause.
Maybe next time.
No,
Yeah.
I mean I don't know. There's something missing here. Maybe if they have a different version, I have to look up the brewery. I have not. I just like made a post about it, but I need to look it up and see if they have different version of this. This to compare like this nitro version of their pumpkin stout versus something else, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's what nitro meant. So I'm glad that now I know from the show, and I probably will
And
also
no one's
steer
half the
clear.
battle.
Yeah,
no one's half the
exactly.
battle. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued to know more if they have different styles of pumpkin. If they have any different styles of this beer, like I'm kind of interested to see what else they have in this brewery,
Yeah,
just
now,
to compare it.
If you could take the nitro out of this and give me like a full beer,
Like a
A
lager.
little more
yeah,
carbonation.
like a lager, I think I would actually really enjoy this.
It's just a pumpkin.
Pretty similar to the beer we had 2 weeks ago, flavor wise, where
mhm.
it would be like eating the middle of the pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they do have a regular version of this. Their pumpkin ale, but now is improved with nitro.
Asterisk, maybe improved.
Yeah,
Maybe not improved. I don't
And
know.
it's personal preference. I personally enjoy, depending on the type of beer, but this one I personally like the more carbonated, no nitro version. I'm sure I would like that more.
yeah. And maybe just because that's what I'm used to. So
You missed out last week. We missed Kirsty last week. We always miss Kirsty in general.
buying a
Bringing her
house,
every
it
show.
really sucks.
Being an adult, it's
Adulting.
hard. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
But we had the full grown Jack, and that one
That was really good.
Yeah, that
very
looked
good, and it was like 12% or it was
Oh, wow.
strong, but it had a really bold pumpkin flavor. But that I think the percentage of alcohol, it made like for a real like you notice like the alcohol a little bit when you first start drinking. Get a little bit
Get
more
halfway
And
through
then
that
it's all
cup.
good.
get a little bit more soused, and you didn't notice the bite so much. But it was very good, very strong, very good pumpkin flavor. So
Yeah, I really. So anybody in Utah watching this, anybody from this brewery like sees this, please let us know if you could where we could find the regular version. I'm willing to buy it. Whatever, send it our way. I want to try the regular version just to have a comparison. Like I feel like we would all enjoy the regular pumpkin ale versus the nitro. Like unanimously, we all have not enjoyed the nitro version.
I think
It's not bad. It's not bad
But
at
I've
any
never had a nitro canned.
yeah,
It tastes so different than the nitro that I had at the brewery that I'm just like,
I could see that too. But it was a different style too, kind of same way.
true.
I don't know. Yeah.
We're all confused here. That's what's happening right
We
now.
need-
like, what is this water beer?
My fault, guys. I should have known better.
No. This is good because now you know.
Now,
Because if you don't know, then now you know. Dallas Beer Talk.
beep. Yeah, if I would have known that, I would have tried to look for the regular version of this, and then we had a comparison of both on the show, like so we could both like tried it. You know, I'm gonna look for it this week and see if I can find the normal version of this, because right now, as far as this flavor, it's not bad. It's not bad at
no,
all.
flavor's pretty good.
It's very
Yeah, pretty good.
easy to drink. So if you're want to try a beer, a pumpkin beer that's very mellow and have heavy pumpkin flavor to it, this is the one you want for you that is not too hard to drink.
Not too strong. It's only 4%. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
And if I keep snuffling like trying to breathe in my nose, I'm fighting a cold right now. So sorry about that.
Victor braved through some sickness this week, and we're happy to have him on because he was looking kind of bleak yesterday. He wasn't looking too good.
I was looking kind of rough. I slept for about 20 hours.
Dang.
And then I woke up this morning and did not want to get out of bed. I was like, I wanted to sleep some more.
You know,
Give or
tomorrow
take.
is Friday, so if you call off,
Yeah.
That's a 3-day weekend. Ain't nobody gonna blame you. Eh?
Hopefully nobody from work's watching this.
Yeah.
But
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I'm feeling sick right now. Like, really bad right now.
It happened about 4 o'clock.
No, so, I mean, to be continued on this beer. To be continued. We definitely got to get round 2 on this beer.
Let's drink these down, and I know you got a lot, Victor. I'm sorry, but we're getting pressed for
I'm
time
excited
a little
for
bit.
the clown shoes because, like Victor said, they have not failed us yet. We even had 3 of their beers. My
This weekend.
family, they had a little Texas beer tasting event at my sister-in-law's, and Victor was nice enough to bring 3 of the clown shoes.
Which I
and-
didn't know was a tasting like that. I was walking into thinking it was a house party, and they were like, we're going to try all these beers right now. I'm like, all right.
Ain't no party but a house.
I said it was with Kaylin's family, so like can't get too crazy though. We got crazy.
No, that's Latino. He heard like, yeah, it's a party. It's a
Yeah.
house party.
Yeah, bring stouts. I'm like, I'm
It's
bring
the
some
family.
stout.
Yeah, the family's there at the house party.
Yeah, we're
Well,
about to get drunk. So I was prepared for a party,
Yeah.
and we had a beer tasting. Like, we had a Dallas beer talk without the cameras. Like, it was
Yeah.
a good night.
It was fun, and we all got wasted. So,
Soused. That's my word. Soused.
Soused.
Trademarked. Dallas beer talk.
Definitely not trademark. But yeah, well, let's go for this next one, Victor. So what do we have here?
From this is Clown Shoes. There is the Crusher in the Rye 2017. There's the Imperial Oatmeal Milk Stout,
Really?
aged in rye barrels.
So I'm gonna give a little preface to this. I have never really found a good oatmeal stout that I'm really appreciate.
I want to throw this bottle at you. You haven't had an oatmeal stout you like?
That I really appreciated. I mean, so
What have you tried?
I've tried
All of them.
Let
I've
me
tried
give
them
you
all.
let me give you the whole number. So I know with like a lot of the oatmeal stouts, you're gonna get more of a bitter taste.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give it a shot. And I've got much love for the clown shoes. We do love some clown shoes on the show.
I don't know. I already have a mixed bag about this. You can definitely smell the rye.
A little play on Catcher in the Rye.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think it smells good.
Hold on. Don't move that yet. Don't move that.
Yes, sir.
For some reason, it smells like those old butterscotch candies
Does it?
that grandparents would have at their house. So
Oh yeah, you're right. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's got like a scotch schnapps.
I should put an asterisk on this episode. I could barely breathe through my nose, so my taste buds is off. So all I smell is rye.
It's got like a. So tell us a little bit. What does the bottle say? Because it's got like a very.
It doesn't taste like
Very-
butterscotch.
It came with Clown Shoes. It's the
Crusher in the Rye.
Crusher in the Rye 2017.
Let me give this a little
Have
shot
any
here.
type of hints what flavors are in here?
It says Crusher in the Rye 2017 Imperial Oatmeal Milk Stout aged in rye barrels.
Oh wow!
And that's it.
And it's 11.5%.
I was gonna
Doesn't
say.
taste strong.
I
Feeling on this one.
I get the alcohol. Excuse me, alcohol bite from it, but it does have like sort of like you're saying the butterscotch kind of smell, and I kind of get it throughout. It's kind of like a warm.
It's a nice sweet flavor throughout.
Yeah, and it's not too bitter, so that's kind of what I was worried about. This one is very good.
You know, it's a very sweet drink from start to finish. And in the beginning, you get hit with the alcohol flavor, and then it finishes off with a nice little note at the end. The unfortunate part is to hit with the alcohol in the beginning.
There's a very strong alcohol presence. I don't get so much of the sweet, but I do get the alcohol kind of come through. This one actually, so our boy Pancho, he said that he's tried this one and he said this is a very good one that he likes a lot. So
I mean, I should put an asterisk behind all my comments on this show today because I can't really taste a lot today because I'm sick. But I feel like I like it. I feel like,
Yeah, it's
honestly, like I think it's sweet for a milk stout with like aged.
oatmeal stout.
Well, yeah. Oh, excuse me, oatmeal stout. That's aged in rye barrels. Like you get the rye smell, you get the alcohol hit in the beginning, but I feel like it finishes sweet. Like it's like the alcohol in the beginning and it's still kind of sweet, and then it finishes off real sweet and casual.
You definitely get the real from the actual barrels. I do get the taste from it, but
See,
It's
I'm
good.
just getting hit with the alcohol and it stays the whole
The whole time.
time. Yeah.
Get on my level then. Get as drunk as I am.
It's not, I wouldn't say it's bad because I really like Clown Shoes. And since I like all their other beers, I'm pretty open-minded to this one.
I mean, not everyone can be a winner. Not everyone can be a winner.
It definitely, when I smelt it, I thought it would taste really good. And the smell was better to me than the taste.
Okay.
But
What's been your favorite stout that we've had? I mean, we take that with a grain of salt, but do you have any that sticks out that you really appreciated?
well,
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
yeah.
Like,
If I'm going to pick a real stout, because, a long time ago I brought that milk chocolate type one. and
that was
I-
really good.
Like,
That
to me,
was
that was
Oklahoma?
real smooth.
Samuel
No,
Smith
it
Organic
wasn't
Chocolate Stout.
Oklahoma. I don't remember where it was from, but yeah,
This-
Samuel Smith
yeah.
Organic.
How do you guys remember
was
that? I don't
good.
remember that.
Because I love that. That one was very tasty. I've had it before. When she brought it on the show, I was very excited, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
It's very
It
good.
was delicious. Super smooth, so if you don't like stouts, that's the one to go for. But if I'm going for like a real stout, it was Clown Shoes. Not the one that we thought the mother-in-law would like.
That Russian
but,
Imperial?
Yeah, not that one, but the second one that we had this weekend. It was so good. It
I forgot
felt
the
like
name of
a
it.
full body stout.
I'll buy it.
So you like
but
the stout?
smooth. Would I ever buy it on my own? No,
But out of the
definitely
one
from
you tried,
the
that's your
show,
favorite.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
learned to enjoy each beer for what they are.
It's good.
So
Yeah.
Same here. I don't like IPAs, but you can still appreciate it for what it is. No, I can't remember the name right now. It had the purple label on it. Like it had like.
It's that Clown Shoes purple label, baby.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll buy it again for this show this week.
yeah,
So I have an idea that we need to try to do for the show.
Tell me.
We got to get the artist on that has made all these different pictures and like have him kind of explain what they mean. Because look at what is going on here.
There's like a rye field that he's burning.
It's
But with
obviously
like
a play on
weird
some
monster dragons, and you got a duck, and I mean this is telling a story,
It's trippy.
and it's I don't know how, but you have to be able to like this is telling a story.
Yeah.
He's a crusher, and he's burning up the rye fields with his pet duck.
I think
Or his partner duck.
it's a play on Catcher in the Rye. I do believe.
Duh.
But what do the monsters have to do? You see the monsters in the background
Yeah,
that
he's
are
burning.
burning?
Yeah. We'll get him on the show.
Have
We'll
you
get
read
him
the
a call
book
in.
Catcher in the
That's
Rye?
Get a call in.
yeah. Just got so much respect for the guy that does the art for this.
Well,
He does some
had-
pretty awesome
is-
stuff.
What,
Yeah.
what is that? The American Pure style? He had like a Dog Day Afternoon kind of picture. Can't remember like that
they
he
had
was
a
robbing a
couple
bank.
weeks ago.
Yeah, he was robbing a
Yeah.
bank. It's like Dog Day Afternoon kind of or Reservoir Dog kind of theme.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's an amazing one right there too. And then you had the good, the bad, the Undying Dragon, whatever that shit was called, Underdying.
Yeah, like Unidragon.
Unidragon,
Yeah.
Unidragon. There it is.
It's Michael Axt is the
The artist.
artist.
She,
Alright.
Michael
Hey, yo,
Axe has a
Mikey.
fa-
Michael,
yo,
get up on here.
there's a Facebook.
I don't know. I'm reading an article about it right now.
Let's see if we can reach out to him and see if we can get him. We can get a call in. We can get a call in.
Get another call in. Shout
What's
out.
he doing
Nice.
on?
Thursday afternoon?
Yeah.
You know, besides beating his dick, like you know.
Whoa.
Oh,
Or brewing
hey.
some beer, or
You don't know if he's
what
brewing some
Michael
beer.
does.
That's true. drawing
an artist.
drawing some beautiful creations for.
He's
some
an artist.
beer.
You know, artists do some weird things.
That's
you know,
true.
Dave Chappelle beats his dick while he's eating cereal. You know,
It's been
I don't
proven.
even want to think about that because I just think about going in his cereal and he'll never know.
what do
He
you mean?
just
You never? Of
eats
course
it.
you know.
No, not
What are you
him.
talking
You don't
about?
know.
You'll know
Wait.
it. You'll know in the moment. You don't know where it went, but you'll
Yeah.
you'll know
look-
in the
you
moment.
don't look
Stirred
down?
it
You don't
in
look
the
down?
cereal.
Wait, you don't look
He
down?
just-
Oh.
Just look up to the sky.
Look up to the sky as it's happening. Like, listen, you know where it's going.
I mean, don't you get all involved in it?
I mean, I do.
Nah.
Sorry, Amy. Oh,
So this article says, excuse me, that he and Clown Shoes are in the early stages of putting together a book of all the
really?
label art that they've done over the years, and this was in 2016.
Oh wow.
So,
Dang.
yeah.
So,
That's
they know
interesting.
they're amazing. They know they got the right guy.
they got the
on there.
best kind of
Yeah, for real.
art for like unique art for beer. You know,
It's pretty
Probably
cool.
most unique.
I
That
know-
and what's that one with the Alice in Wonderland kind of thing?
Oh, that was
Yeah,
that was a Rabbit Hole. Brewing.
Rabbit Hole.
Yeah,
Rabbit Hole
they're
has some
pretty
weird
cool
shit
art,
going on
too.
too.
They're local, just in Texas.
Shout out to Rabbit Hole too.
Fairly,
They have some.
fairly local from here.
They have some weird shit going on with their cans and bottles and shit.
Another good one is that we've been having the show, but their
No
bottles
Beret?
are really cool. Is Jester King.
Oh, I've seen that over there at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have some really interesting stuff. So
I was thinking about Noble Ray because they have those stackable cans.
No, it's more kind of like cartoony, but they have some pretty
It's interesting.
funny, cool stuff.
Yeah, because it's stackable cans. They do different things. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, agreed.
But no, the Allison Rabbit and Hole, that Rabbit Hole brewery, that has some real trippy art. They do a lot of Alice in Wonderland type shit. That was pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Me too. It's interesting seeing the different types of cans. Also, the artwork on the cans of beers. We had Pegasus City over the weekend, had one of their canned beers, and I thought it was just this one can that was special. It was all pitch black, and it was one of the cans where you take off the whole top of it.
Yeah.
But actually, it seems, I could be wrong because I've only seen a couple of their beers now, but all of them are black with the same kind of design, and it's very simplistic, modern, and that was really cool to me too. But I like whenever you can take the whole top off.
So you like to take the top off?
Obviously.
Yeah, often.
All day, every day.
Often.
But to me, I was like, okay, that's perfect for me because sometimes I'm lazy. I don't want to pour it into a glass.
That's what it's meant
makes
for.
for a pretty nice pour, yeah.
That's what it's meant for. I mean,
Rabbit Hole had the one
the
that we
full
had
top.
the
The full top.
No, wait, what was it? No,
Rabbit Hole
it was
did.
Was it
Four Corners also
Four
had a full
Corners,
top.
yeah,
Four
Four
Corners had a
Corners.
full top. I may be lying. I don't fucking know.
No, it was Four
I
Corners.
have bad memory.
It was Four Corners. I
I have bad
remember.
memory. I don't fucking know.
I like the four corners, so.
I think
No, but I'm just saying-
we like to take the top off.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
we like
that.
we all in it.
I'm about to go home, take the shirt off, take my bra off. You know,
Take that top off.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Take the top off.
No, I'm just saying, like, not to be like a beer snob about it, but
So the guy who drank water in between beers, what a beer snob.
I know, what a dick. What a fucking dick. No, either have something unique about your artwork or keep it simple. Lakewood has a very simple cans I like a lot. It's another brewery that we had a few weeks ago that had a very simple can. I gave description what to pair with and things like that. It was a very simple can. Then you got like Rabbit Hole, or it has very unique art. Clown Shoes, very unique art. Like it's one of the two. I don't like the middle ground. Like unfortunately, Deep Ellum Brewery, I don't like their artwork. It's different. It's a lot going on the can. It's cool. It sticks out. Devin, does it stick out? Yeah, but I don't like it.
It's
It's serving its point of like if you're going through the store and you're looking at beers,
and it catches your eye.
that's gonna catch your eye. But I can see like when you're looking at and you're comparing it to other artworks that you like more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know
not
why I
so
never
much,
had
but-
Deep Ellum Brewery for many years? Just because that bullshit artwork. I'm like, you know what?
Really?
For many years, I stayed away from them just because they were just doing too much. I'm like, you're trying too hard. Your beers gotta be trash. Fortunately, their beers are good.
Yeah.
I like a lot of their beers.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with their
The
artwork.
Well,
I think
I'm also
they're-
a picky person. I don't know if you noticed that.
It fits
No,
the
nobody's
style
ever
of
noticed
Deep
that.
Ellum,
Nah,
I think,
no.
I think that they have to each their own. So I think, everybody talks, but the beer.
Yeah, the
beer
beer
is
don't
most
matter.
important. Like you can have the best
Beers-
artwork in the world. Like Clown Shoe can have the best artwork in the world, but their beers are trash. Like no one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, like they really care about their beers.
They're good at advertising, but maybe their beer won't be as good. But fortunately, Clown Shoes
Works.
delivers in
Beer is
both
on
the
point.
artwork and the beer, right?
And yeah.
So I think it could be there's a lot of ones that have really simple bottles and you would never know. Like I've seen some that are like very expensive
Four Corners.
beers.
Four Corners is a perfect example of simple cans and bottles. They're very simple.
Yeah, I've seen some that are like for like a per beer or like $7.99 a beer, just like a 12-ounce can, and it's got like some simple artwork on it, like mostly a silver can, and you'd be like, why? I think it's Prairie Artisan Ales. They have some that are pretty expensive, but until you try it, you'd be like, yo, that ain't shit, but it could be ultimately
the best
very
shit.
very tasty. The shit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a risk you
So-
take when you're buying any kind of drink or consuming anything. It's a risk you take paying for it.
Yeah.
You can pay more, pay less. You do what you gotta do.
Yep.
But I mean,
On that note,
on that note, I do appreciate everybody watching. I do appreciate wherever you watch this or you listen to this, SoundCloud, YouTube,
MySpace.
shit, we might be put on MySpace. I don't fucking know yet.
Stay tuned.
We might. No, I do appreciate it. And then again, if anybody has any comments or recommendation of beers for us to try, we do our best to get the beer here. Or if you have beers you want to send to us, feel free to do it. You can message us online on Facebook or whatever. Or also have a website. Check that out. Everybody have a safe, fun weekend. It's Halloween. There's a bunch of Halloween parties this weekend and the next weekend. So be fun, be safe, get drunk,
Get crazy.
drink beer. Have a good weekend. Love you guys.